Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's topic is if you are coming to Canada on a visitor visa and if your objective is to secure a job while you are inside Canada on a visitor visa, what are the most important things that you should be taking care of? I am Niladri Mukherjee and I'm an RCIC. I'm based out of Mississauga here in Canada. So let's just try to break it down the process step by steps, and if you have a pen and paper, it would be a good idea to take a note of the steps because these are the steps through which my clients have got immensely benefited, and I could tell you that if you follow these steps judiciously, probably you will be benefited as well. Step number one, try to work on your LinkedIn profile, right? Before even thinking about visitor visa and all those things, try to make the basics or the foundations clear. And in Canada, though there are job hunting sites such as Monster, Indeed, and all those things, LinkedIn works magic. So try to have a professional photograph uploaded, try to write the descriptions like the way it is being professionally written, and have a proper LinkedIn profile built. Once you have built a proper LinkedIn profile, which is obviously step number one, try to test the water, right? What I mean by that is try to build up your connections. Who are the decision makers of various organizations here in Canada? So try to identify which are the companies, which are the corporations, which may potentially hire you. Obviously, do not look for bigger organizations. Try to look for small to medium-sized organizations where there may not be many decision makers, and hence the possibility of arriving at a hiring decision of an international worker may be faster. And hence, find out those kind of connections and try to build up your connections. Many of you know that LinkedIn offers a free 1 month subscription, for the premium services, and you can send as much email and all those things as you would like. Take advantage of that if you have not already done so, right? So that's mostly step number one. Step number two should be try to come up with a good Canadian CV. So in the LinkedIn, try to upload your Canadian CVs as well, if possible, if that opportunity exists for you. Now, if you would ask me, well, what is a Canadian CV? A Canadian CV is simply a resume without any flaps, without your photograph. Just do not write how much you like trekking if you are an IT professional. Do not like what you want to do after work if you are into manufacturing. Just write what you do, what your educations are, and what have you done in life in brief as far as your professional aspect is concerned, in black and white, in black and gray, in gray and white. That becomes your Canadian CV, and please do not upload your photograph. That disqualifies you on day one. That should be your step number two. Step number three, now that you have a CV, you have LinkedIn, try to build up connections and try to join various forums on LinkedIn and see which are the employers and then which are the provinces in which those employers are based, that you are getting at least some kind of an interest build. So are you getting in connection with any employers? Are they even talking to you? Which are the employers that are talking to you? Where are they based? Try to shortlist your location accordingly, because Canada is a huge country and it is probably not a useful idea to come to Toronto or go to Vancouver because everybody else is doing the same thing, right? And just forget about the fact that visitor visa to work permit conversion and all those things, because there are simpler possibilities as well. So just because your cousin lives in there, just because your relatives lives in there, that doesn't really mean that you will get a job either in Toronto or in Vancouver. So see for yourself which are the employers that are being mostly interested in you, which are the provinces that these guys are best out of, and then try to shortlist your location, your provinces, and your cities accordingly. More often than not, from my experience, I could tell you Atlantic region of Canada is the one from where my clients get the most number of interest, because there are a lot of employers who really need internationally trained resources, and regardless of the background, if you are able to channelize your time, money, energy, and resources well in one very part of Canada, which in my opinion is Atlantics as of right now, you will probably be benefited. To try to look and have a build up your connections with employers in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and you can also try to potentially take advantage of the rural and northern immigration program as well. Try to build up your connections with Manitoba. Try to build up your connections with some employers in BC, some employers in Alberta, and shortlist and see which are the provinces, or which is the province that you would actually like to visit while you visit in Canada, right? Another step that you can take even before you really build up your visitor visa application is to understand whether you actually qualify to apply for a visitor visa or not, because Even if you not qualify today, maybe you want to save up a couple of $1,000 in your account and you may qualify in next few months. So just do not jump on an application right now if you think you don't qualify. If you need professional assistance, come for a consultation, discuss everything for us to arrive at a case specific conclusion. But again, if you do not qualify, do not jump onto the application immediately. I say this to almost all of my clients as well. Dude, you are not really an eligible candidate for a visitor visa, and if you apply for a visitor visa, most likely you will be rejected, because the rejection of visitor visas is really at all-time high. So make sure you do that assessment well, make sure to do that analysis well, and prepare your documents and everything else even before you start the actual application process, because you need to understand that yes, you can actually give your 100% while you make the visitor visa application, right? Now, last step is obviously the visitor visa application process itself. Now, as I've said in the previous lines, that visitor visa rejection is really at all-time high in Canada, and you don't want to be rejected, right? So no matter how hard you try, you could still get rejected. The decision is on the IRCC, but at least you can try your best to present a comprehensive, concrete application, so that at least you get a fair share of somebody's time, an IRCC officer's time, for them to review your application constructively. And for that to happen, make sure you provide all the documents that's been looking at. You have a storyline, you have a proper submission letter or an explanation letter, and everything is been linked together, so that the possibility or the chances of success improves. Because if your objective is to come to Canada and convert that into a work permit and things like that, you do not want to get a rejection on your visitor visa any which ways, right? So that is a super most important step for you. Lastly, what you have to understand is that, though I have said in the beginning of the video that yes, what if you are looking to convert your visitor visa into a work permit while inside Canada and whatnot, you could still go back to your home country and apply for a work permit from there. And there are many other possibilities that you could think of. You do not have to do flag polling, you do not have to send an online application while you're inside Canada. There are actually many programs, immigration programs, that you can potentially take advantage of, where you do not even have to apply for a work permit, such as Atlantic Immigration. If you get a job offer, and if the employer is ready to maybe to wait for you for a couple of months, you really even do not have to wait for apply for a work permit, because Atlantic Immigration is one such program where the decision making time is super duper fast. I have at least 5 or 7 active clients of Atlantic Immigration. If any one of you are watching this video, please write down in the comment section about your experience of the processing time, because all my clients have received a work permit within 1 month, flat 1 month of the application submission, and PR within 3 to 4 months of the application submission, which is phenomenal. So why do you even want to go for a work permit, like visitor visa to work permit conversion and all those things, where you can potentially take advantage of a program where the decision making may be super fast, and you do not have to go for the visitor visa to work permit conversion and all those things, saving you thousands and thousands of dollars in the process. So there are a lot of things that you can potentially take advantage of, and if you follow these steps, most likely you'll be benefited. If you need my professional assistance, come for a consultation as a step 1. Let me have a discussion with you. Let me figure out the case specific options for you. Let us discuss the steps in detail, and then you can decide how to take things forward. I hope this helps. If you want to book a consultation, go onto the website novonation.ca, and you can hop onto the visit visa section, go on a consultation, and I'll be happy to have a discussion with you to see how to take things forward. Hope this helps, guys. See you guys in the next one. Bye now. Cheers.